Hi again, folks. In this video, let's take a look at our current net minding situation in Buffalo. Coming up. All right. This video goes out to Daniel Fielding. A video on our net minding situation. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Daniel. I'm going to talk about our kids, all right? I'm not really going to mention Tarkarski, and I just did a Hauser video recently. What I feel there, I really think Hauser should just be our #1 guy and be done with it right now. Really, I'm done with, goaltending killing us this year. And I would just throw Hauser in there, give him a fair shot at the NHL. He doesn't make it, and we start with the kids next year. But I'm going to go on the 3 young men that are in our farm, because those are the future of the Buffalo Sabres. And I do believe we have a Stanley Cup goalie amongst these 3. So let's take a look and we'll get started. First clip. And there is UPL. Now UPL showed solid promise this year, I thought. In the games he came up, he had a .917 save percentage after a rough start in Rochester. And his numbers overall, if you look at his Rochester numbers so far, are nothing stellar. That's for sure. There's nothing stellar at all about them. This guy has so far been groomed properly, I believe. He was drafted fairly high when you think of it as a goalie, right? I mean, this is a pretty high draft pick for a goaltender. But looking throughout his career, and I'm by the way, for the record, if you look at 2018, 2019, guys, I'm a Sudbury Wolves fan. Believe it or not, that is my favorite team in the juniors. That's my team, because I used to spend my summers in Sudbury. And so I became a Wolves fan as a kid. And I stuck with them. So it's funny, he comes from there. There's guys, former Sabres, like Mike Foligno comes to mind. There's guys that have come from there to our team eventually. But if you look at his numbers, the Cincinnati numbers aren't bad. 224 goals against average and a .912 save percentage. The Rochester numbers stand out as bad, though. They stand out as bad, and that's alarming. That is alarming. So in the NHL, okay, he's .308 goals against and a .913 save percentage and no shutouts. Now, the .913 is what stands out because he's done that the last 2 years on basically not a very good team. So his NHL numbers are better. He's better when he's been up here, but in a small amount of test also. Let's see what he does in 35 games, right? But in the time he's been up here, he's been impressive. I have to say, he has been. I'm not so concerned. I concern myself when it comes to young goalies, guys. I don't look so much at the goals against, because the team he's on is going to let in far more scoring chances. I look at the save percentage and how bad the team is that he was on. And that gives me more of a clear-cut idea. This guy, so far, has a better career save percentage in the NHL than Marty Biron did. So far, I believe Biron was .911 or something. So I'm just going by memory on that. But UPL so far is not a bust. He's developing nicely. He's not a bust. And his numbers in the NHL look good. Next clip. Here we go. And there is Eric Portillo, whose numbers have been awesome on Michigan. His numbers are just really, really good. Okay, this guy, and I like the fact he's 6'6", guys. Just for the record, of course, UPL is 6'5". This kid is 6'6", and his numbers this year are just excellent. His goals against is .219. His save percentage is .925. Last year, his goals against was .267, and his save percentage was .935. I mean, his numbers are really good. We look like we drafted a solid goalie here. At least that's how it looks. And if you look at his USHL numbers, .211 goals against, .915 save percentage. And even for Lunda, you know, his junior numbers were decent, very decent. I mean, my God, his numbers are just good all around. So in other words, his numbers are just good all around. They're just good all around. You know, Portillo, I've very often said this could be the guy that's in our future. Kind of like, remember when we had Bureau and he was supposed to be the guy that was going to lead us for years, right? He was supposed to be the guy, the big draft pick and everything and all that stuff. And it turned out to be Ryan Miller. Ryan Miller had close to a damn Hall of Fame career. Close. I'd say close. If he, you know, I don't think he'll get in, but my God, he should be considered. You know, like Ryan Miller was just awesome. His number should be in the rafter, retired right now. And if I was working for Pagula, I'd be knocking on his door saying, Ryan Miller's number is still not up in the rafters today. I'd get myself fired. I just would. But yeah, Eric Portillo, 21 years old. He's going to be 22 in September. And let me go back just for a second to UPL. He's now 22. He's going to be 23 in a few months, okay? So he's about, let's say, May, June, July, August, September. He's about 17 months older than Portillo, okay? Just for the record. And Portillo is, again, 6'6". I like that. All right, let's go to the third and final one that I have on the list. And Devin Levi, who everybody was panicking. We didn't take a goalie in the first round. And this is the reason why. This is why we did not take a goalie in the first round. Anybody that's seen him play for Team Canada in that junior tournament not too long ago, seen some outstanding goaltending like they might have never seen before. I mean, this kid is phenomenal. His numbers this year, take a good look, guys. All right, a 1.55 goals against, okay, and a 948 save percentage. And the most impressive thing, in 24 games played, 9 shutouts. In the CCHL, all right, last year, or I should say, sorry, the year before, he's just been getting better. He just doesn't stop getting better, this kid. He had a 147 goals against average, a 941 save percentage, and 8 shutouts. Devin Levi is my pick for our Stanley Cup goalie. I think this is the kid that's going to lead us to the promised land. I can tell you the impression he's left me the most, okay? When I watched him in that, it's the junior tournament, guys, not this. It's the junior tournament. I seen him in that tournament, and I thought Carter Hart looked amazing the year he was in. And it was ironic, the 2 times we got in and lost both times to the States in overtime. That's funny, eh? It's kind of funny. My 2 favorites, though, were goalies that didn't win the gold. And Devin Levi, in that tournament, guys, there was no such thing called a rebound with this goalie. He's a vacuum cleaner. When he gets the puck, it doesn't bounce off him and go to the boards. He keeps it. I don't know what he does in his mechanics that make him do that, or if it's just a talent. I've never seen a goalie like this not give up rebounds. For me, that's one of those special things that I can't get out of my head about this kid. This kid is, I believe, headed to the NHL. Absolutely. And I'd like to see him this year. I don't believe in the theory, oh, you bring up a kid too soon, you ruin him. I don't believe in that theory. I never will. I think it's kind of a wuss theory, to be honest. Ask Patrick Waugh if he was scared to come up when he came up. People say, oh, well, that was Patrick Waugh. Okay, so? He came up on a team that had Bob Gainey, Larry Robinson, all these guys, right? And he still made his way. He still acted like the leader of that team in that playoff run in '86. Who's to say this kid can't do it? Really. You got to take sometimes somebody, especially the kids, throw them in the fire and see if they have survival instincts. Sometimes you got to do that. I would. If I was general manager, this guy would have played already. I'll tell you right now. I'm not saying he'd be our regular. Maybe not. Maybe he would be. I wouldn't know till I play him, right? What am I going to do? Say, oh, he's too, I'm going to wait till he can shave better? Come on. Sometimes you got to take guys, throw them in the fire, see what they're made of. It doesn't ruin their careers. If anything can ruin their careers are going to get ruined anyway. It's like me saying, well, that can get me drunk. Well, if I'm going to get drunk again, guys, I'm going to drink anyway. I'm going to find my way. I'm going to find that porthole to an alcohol. Porthole. I'm going to find it, right? So it's the same thing with these guys. If we don't try them and throw them in the fire and just see what they're made of, we're never really going to know. I like the idea that UPL came up this year. I got some backlash from some of you guys saying, oh, it's too, no, look how he's doing in the AHL. So who cares what he's doing in the AHL? I want to see what he does in the NHL. I could care less what he's doing in there. I've seen guys in the NHL come up and do better, and vice versa, right? Guys that are regressing, so you send them to the minors to get back on track, and they never get back on track. So a lot of this is psychological. If the guy is mentally strong, and I think this kid is mentally strong, because those junior games still rattle in my head. What I seen, I was stunned, and I'll tell you what, I think the Sabres fans that haven't seen this kid play are in for a treat when he comes up. I'll tell you that. All right, folks, that's it. Got another video to make. See you in the next one.